now. Good morning and happy Veterans Day. My name is Evelyn Pride and I am the Community Partnerships and Outreach Manager at Aiken Technical College. And we're so glad that you have an opportunity to be with us today. We're going to talk to you a little about some of the opportunities that we have at Aiken Tech for you and perhaps your spouses or your children if you happen to be that you are. So let's get started with the presentation, and if you have questions, you can definitely ask those questions. So let's get Aiken Technical College is a military-friendly school. And you may mean, well, that's all good and everything, but really, what does that mean? The military-friendly school designation means that we stand recognized for our student veteran supports we have in place, that if a veteran should be looking for an education, that this designation should be a reassurance that we recognize and respect our veteran population. Who we are, our history. Aiken Technical College was founded in 1972 by Mr. Ashley J. Little. It moved to its current site in 1973 as Aiken Technical Education Center. The name changed in 1978 to Aiken Technical College. Our mission at Aiken Technical College is simple. Aiken Technical College is a public, open-door, 2-year comprehensive institution of higher education established to give the citizens of Greater Aiken County the opportunities for education and workforce development. Our vision is simple. ATC wants to be the best college in the region. Now, our leadership, let me give you a little history. As I mentioned, the founder of Aiken Technical College was Mr. Ash J. Little. He was our first president. He was president from 1972 to 1984. Then we had Dr. Paul Blowers. He was our president from 1984 to 1994. Then we had Dr. Kathleen Noble. She was the president from 94 to 99. In 99, Dr. Susan A. Windsor became the president, and thus far, she has been the longest reigning one because she was president from 1999 to 2016. And our current president is Forrest Mahan. He came to join us in July of 2016. Now, our leadership and structure consists of, we have the president, the current president, Dr. Forrest A. Mahan. Under him is the executive staff. The executive staff consists of 3 vice presidents, Dr. Vincent Burdett, who is the Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs, Mr. Andy Jordan, who is the Vice President of Administrative Services. We have Ms. Michelle English, who's the Vice President of Advancement. And then we have the Director of Human Resources and Campus Safety, Ms. Sylvia Bird. We are accredited by the Commission on the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. We are centered on 308 acres. We offer over 60 programs and courses. We have approximately 2,300 students, and we offer classes on campus as well as online in our usual situation. Right now with COVID, of course, very few classes are being offered face-to-face, but the majority are online right now. Where we are part of the South Carolina Technical College system. We are one of 16 technical colleges in that system. Our service area includes the CSRA, which is Aiken County, Richmond, and Columbia County over in on the Georgia side. So we have a reciprocal agreement with Augusta and Columbia County where they pay in-state fees plus an additional, I think, $15. Our campus is located on Jefferson Davis Highway. And when you pass by and you see the big flag in front, that's the administration building. And the campus seems small to people because some people think that's all that we have. But when you turn into the campus, you'll see how we're steadily growing and how many buildings that we do have. Our outreach, of course, are to the middle school and high school students. But in addition to that, we serve the non-traditional students and we serve the community as well. That's why I'm the community partnership manager. So we serve GED, we talk to adult ed, we talk to different, want their employees to advance. So we have a lot of different clients outside of just middle school and high school. And our classes are relatively small, about 14-to-1 ratio, student to faculty member. So you have an opportunity to actually get to know your professor. And in addition, he or she has an opportunity to get to know you one-on-one. Study options. Now, at Aiken Technical College, there are three things on the academic side that you can earn. A diploma, which, may take you about 1 year, more or less. You have a certificate degree that can be 6 months, more or less, and then the associate degree. I always say more or less because it depends on the person. If you come in with some classes, then it may not take you as long. If you go full-time versus part-time, then you're going to get out sooner. So I'm always saying more or less just to, give you a little leeway there. With continuing education, we have career and training as well as personal interest. Career and training could be, we have a lot of companies that we are partners with, SmithKline, Kimberly-Clark, Bridgestone, Shaw Industries, the list goes on. And a lot of the times those companies have people that want to get promoted or need additional training to get to that next step, and that's where we come in with that. We have several partnerships with the companies throughout the CSRA. And personal interest as well. They can offer things from learning how to decorate a cake to learning how to ride a motorcycle and everything in between. Academic programs. 60 plus programs, so I'm not going to try and to memorize all of them for you, but some are business, health careers, information technology, manufacturing industry, nuclear and STEM, transfer and general education. Business, you could get an associate degree in management or marketing, accounting. Health careers, gosh, there's so many. There's nursing, there's LPN, expanded duty dental assisting, EMT. Gosh, the list just goes on and on. We have plenty of health science programs. What we offer, guidance and support. And enrollment services, and that's going to be in the administration building as soon as you enter the building on the first floor. You can go into enrollment services, and we call that the one-stop shop. You can go in there and get assistance to apply, financial aid, advising, have problems or questions about your records or your transfer credit summary, ID. You can get all of that assistance in the Enrollment Center. Counseling services is located in the Student Success Center, and Mr. Rich Weldon, who is the Director of Counseling Services and Career Services, as well as Disability Services, can assist you with many things. Learning support, like I mentioned in the Student Success Center, we offer free tutoring, cost you a thing to get support with any of your classes that you're taking. You can walk into the Student Success Center with any issue with English or math on any level of English and math and get immediate assistance. And then with other courses, be it biology, physics, history, whatever, you can get assistance with that as well by appointment, but it's still free. And then growth and development. Well, that's where I live. I'm in student engagement because I'm in the Office of Recruitment and Student Experience. And so we offer a lot of opportunities for our students to become engaged. We have fun things like Super Bowl Fun Day and March Gladness, but then we have serious things too, like dynamic dialogues, talking about equity and pay and things of that nature. And of course, all types of diversity events. And as I mentioned earlier with Career Services, which is located in the Student Success Center, Mr. Rich Weldon could help you with that as far as helping you with resumes, shadowing for jobs, interviews, and things of that nature. And that too, by the way, is free. Everything I'm mentioning is free for our students. So veterans, in addition to VA benefits, you're going to get these too. We also have WORKS, which is the Workforce Opportunities and Regional Careers, and it's called WORK for short. And it aims to connect our students with residents rather, with educational opportunities needed by the U.S. Department of Energy. You can get more information about that by just going to the website that I've listed at www.atc.edu/work for more information. Programs of focus for that would be the Nuclear Fundamental Certificate and the Radiation Protection Technology. And then we have Manu First South Carolina. It's delivered through the college's Training and Business Development Department, and it provides participants with a strong knowledge base of manufacturing. And some of these courses now may or may not be on the academic side, so they may or may not be eligible for financial aid. And some of you may have heard of SC Wins. Aiken Technical College was awarded more than $390,000 in SC-WIN scholarships funding during the 2019-2020 academic year. I highly encourage you to go to that website and see if you're eligible for any of that money, because it's just sitting there. Are veterans successful at ATC? Absolutely. In 2019, Ms. Lisa Washington was named ATC's Human and Civil Rights Student Champion. She is the former president of the ATC Veterans Association chapter for students. She was a campus ambassador, as well as being on the Student Leadership Council. She was honored during the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. community celebration last year. And there's a picture of Ms. Washington receiving her award. Mr. Brandon Rivera. Brandon is our former ATC Student Government Association president and the 2020 recipient of the Outstanding Service Award. In Brandon's words, he said, "I was nervous about getting my degree. I was 17 when I went into the Marine Corps. By the time I was going back to school, I was 31. That's a long gap between school. I was very nervous about going back. That's why I chose Aiken Technical College. I wasn't ready to go to a full year, 4-year school. I just wanted to make sure college was the right path for me. Aiken Technical College provided that opportunity for me." Yes, our veterans are pretty successful at Aiken Technical College. Steps to enrollment. And really, y'all, it's easy peasy because, first of all, there's no application fee. It is free. Again, that word is free. No application fee to apply to Aiken Technical College. So you would apply on our website at www.atc.edu. You click on that website, you go to your upper right-hand corner and click on apply, fill out the application and go from there. Then you're going to apply for financial aid at fafsa.ed.gov. Have your transcripts, if you have any transcripts, high school transcripts or college transcripts, have those sent into our Enrollment Services Center. Or you may decide to take the placement test instead. And then you would access your portal to register your portal, then meet with your advisor, and then you register for your classes, and then get your student ID and your parking decal. You would finalize any financial aid things you have to tie up, make payment arrangements if necessary, get your textbooks, and attend orientation and start your classes. Now, this is just the ATC financial aid process, but I'm not going to go through the entire thing with you. I'm going to save that for Ms. Riddle if she decides to. But it gives you an idea of what some of the processes are to apply for financial aid. We know that you can go on our website, and then you can click on FAFSA, and you can go from there. But I'm going to save that for Ms. Riddle. And Ms. Riddle, who's going to talk to you about VA benefits, she's our VA financial aid specialist. Here's her contact information. You can email her at riddler@atc.edu or give her a call if she should be in the office, because a lot of us are still working, telecommuting back and forth. Her office number is 803-508-7341. You may also contact Veteran Affairs if you have additional questions outside of Aiken Technical College's review. Clubs and orgs, we have several. They include HOSA, Future Health Professionals, Christian Life Club, Lambda Nu, which is a radiological technology organization, Student Government Association, Campus Ambassadors, Phi Theta Kappa, Medical Assisting, Nursing Association, Welding. You say, well, my gosh, you're naming all these things, but don't you have anything for veterans? I mean, you're talking to me on Veterans Day and you don't have anything on veterans? Of course we do. We have the Aiken Technical College Student Veterans Association, where Mr. Victor McInnes is the Student Veterans Faculty Advisor, and he's also an instructor for speech communications. You can reach him at his email address listed here at mcginnisv@atc.edu. Call him when he's on campus, because he too is telecommuting. So sometimes we're on campus and sometimes we're not. I'm at 803-508-7475. And if you want to learn more about military benefits for you and your family once Ms. Riddle is done talking to you, please feel free to log on to this website, and I'm sure you can find more additional information. So if there are no more questions for me, what I'm going to do is stop sharing the presentation and turn it over to Mr. Vic McInnes, who is the Faculty Advisor for the Student Veterans Association. Christina Parrish, who's one of our was a member of one of our Student Veterans Association. She was a member as well.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going to talk for a minute. I'm Vic McInnes. I am the faculty advisor to the Student Veterans Association. Then I'll throw it over to Christina to talk about her experience as a student veteran here on campus. I am an 6-year Army veteran, back probably before everybody else on this conversation was born. I enlisted for 6 years right after I graduated from Auburn University. I then took my Veterans Education Assistant Program, which is what GI Bill was known as back then. Went back to Auburn to get my graduate degree. I then went to work for the Department of Defense. I worked for the Department of Defense for 28 years as a civilian. My first job being an analyst, my last job being the Director of Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance for the Special Operations Task Force in Afghanistan. What that gave me an opportunity to do was work with the military, but just outside of the regular normal chain of command for 28 years. And I had postings in the United Kingdom, Iraq, Afghanistan, Qatar, the UAE, and a couple of other places. So what we strive here for, what my role here as the Student Veterans Association advisor is to foster and build the community of veterans on campus. As we read more and more after, we're now coming up quickly on our 20th year of sustained conflict, what veterans miss and what they need when they leave the military is community. It's something they had when they were in, and when they come out, having a community to move into assists with everything from employment opportunities to educational opportunities to dealing with post-trauma stress and any number of other things. And we try to build that community here. We had done, I think, really well at it, thanks to people like Christina, who you're going to hear from in a minute, Lisa Washington, the president of our SVA, guys like Brandon Rivera, who's the president of our Student Government Association. We had built, and a whole lot of others. We built a good community. We're struggling right now, as everybody did since March 16th when we left campus, but we're still working on it. So I facilitate that. My other role is to act as an additional set of eyes and ears that student veterans can reach out to with a problem. I've had many student veterans come into my office and say, listen, I just wish this place worked like the Army used to, or the Navy. And in a lot of cases, I can direct them to people they can talk to broader on campus that understand that background, because we've got a lot of veterans working in the faculty on the staff here. One of the best ones that you've already heard a couple of times, Rich Weldon, who's the head of our counseling services, is an Army veteran, and he was the staff advisor to the Student Veterans Association for a few years. And I can assist you in meeting those people, setting up those conversations, so people with the same vocabulary, some of the same experiences you've got, can help you out. The other thing that I provide is a link into the broader veterans community here in Aiken County. We sit on the Aiken County Veterans Council that's run by the state-sponsored Veterans Affairs Officer over at the county seat. We're sit on the board of the, let me get this name right, the Aiken Augusta Wounded Warrior Veterans Golf or Charity Golf Classic. It's the worst named charity in the world, but they do great things for us. You may hear Ms. Riddle talk about the Bridging the Gap scholarships. They provide scholarships to students not only here, but also up at University of South Carolina, Aiken, and having us on the board there assist us. And then when students come into me, they with any sort of problems, everything, and some of them, we, especially now, have financial issues, and that gives us an extra leverage point that we can reach out to for assistance. And then finally, one of the things I do is when there's veterans on campus that are having problems, a lot of times instructors, staff members, even in some cases vice presidents of the college have reached out to me and said, hey, we have a veteran that's struggling. Could you reach out to them and see what they can do to help, what you can do to help, and identify ways that the college can be of assistance to them. And we've done that a couple of times, and it's been very successful every time we've done it, because simply having somebody else to talk to that understands the vocabulary and some of the stressors gives you an extra person to talk to and an advocate for you. And I just want to reinforce something Ms. Pride said. Are veteran students successful at ATC? I can't tell you how easy that question is to answer. You've already heard the president of our SGA is a student veteran. Uh, Many of our ambassadors are either are members of the Student Veterans Association, either as a veteran, as a military service member, family member, as a family member of a veteran. Every time I go to a leadership council meeting, I see members of the SVA there already. So we're doing a lot of really good stuff on campus, and I all the time get compliments on how engaged our student veterans are in helping this be a good place to go to school. And I tell them that, it wouldn't happen if Aiken Tech wasn't a good place for a veteran to be for their higher education and meeting their higher education needs. So I've talked enough. Again, you saw my email a minute ago. I would give you my phone number, but right now instructors are only on campus 2 days a week, but I check my email 7 days. It's McInnis, MCINNISV @atc.edu. Reach out to me, ask me any questions, and if I can't answer it, I will get you hooked up with a person that can. I'm going to turn you over to Christina Parrish. She is a former Army medic. I met her in my public speaking class where she was one of, and again, she's going to laugh when I say this, but she was one of my most outstanding students.
Oh,
You may hear her background because she's also, as many of us are now working from home. But Christina, if you would go ahead and tell us about your experience as a student veteran here at Aiken Tech, I would greatly appreciate it.
thanks so much. I'm glad to hear I was an outstanding student. That's always something nice to hear. I am, like Mr. McGinnis said, an Army veteran. I'm sorry. It's working. Okay. I am a former Army medic. Been to Iraq, Kuwait, went to Tajikistan for a little bit. That was kind of cool. But like Mr. McGinnis said, it is when you go back to school, especially after being in the military, you do kind of feel like a community. And for me, that's what the Student Veterans Association gave me. I was able to meet with people where I could just come in and just be like, oh my God, this is what happened today. And they would totally get my frustration or anything just that I was dealing with. Having taken classes later as an adult, I too, just like Ms. Pride was saying, Mr. Rivera said he was kind of nervous going back into school being older just because you kind of feel like you're out of the loop, or maybe you're not going to understand all the things that the younger kids have just learned in high school. So that was a little bit nerve-wracking for me. I do appreciate just that the student veterans also includes family members, so it's not just for veterans. I think that's important to note too. If you have a family member or someone listed as a dependent who's using your benefits, they can also be a part of the Student Veterans Association. And they can help with things like outreach. We do a lot of community events on campus, off campus. We work with the Aiken's Auxiliary Women's Chapter. They do a pretty large book drive every year. That's a big part for us, just kind of reaching out into the community and giving back also. And that too gives you a sense of community and a sense of belonging in a sense. I also want to caveat off of what Mr. McGinnis said too about just being able to go to himself or any teacher on campus really and just say, hey, look, I have this problem, and if they know that you're a part of the Student Veterans Association, it's almost easier to get assistance because there are so many extra programs out there for people like us. And so that's really important too, I think, because maybe sometimes people are a little too nervous or scared to ask, like, hey, I don't really understand what's going on in my class. Can I get a tutor that's also not going to, think I'm crazy because I'm older and I don't understand what's going on. So there are great opportunities and great programs. Aiken Tech. I got my associates within about a year and a half being there. So that was a pretty good accomplishment for me, I think, just having to be able to have teachers that I could count on, I could go to, have people like Mr. McGinnis, Ms. Pride that I could come to and say, hey, look, I don't understand what's going on. Is there somebody that can help me? And they could direct you to tutoring services, or maybe Rich Weldon. I know he's been mentioned a couple times. He helps with things like extra test time and stuff like that if you do have a disability or anything that you need help. And that's important to note also, I think. But I also serve as the secretary of the Student Veterans Association. And so for me, what that means is I'm able to get out the news to people about scholarships, upcoming opportunities, things that are happening on campus. And as a member of Student Veterans Association, you have access to a specific email list that we send out. And it's just kind of more tailored to things that would benefit veterans, family members, spouses, things like that. So you'll get a little extra additional information, reminders, when to do your FAFSA, scholarships like Bridge the Gap scholarship that's awarded pretty much to anybody who applies at this point, just because of everything going on with COVID. So it's pretty good association to be a part of, and I really am going to miss it when I have to move on. But I'll still stay in touch with everyone. I'm sure Mr. McGinnis won't be happy about that because I'm going to bug him all the time, and he's going to laugh. But you know, he's a great person to go to when you need advice. His pride as well. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to her and just say thanks for including me in this conversation.
Thank you so much, Christina and Mr. McGinnis. I appreciate it. But I have a couple of questions for you guys. So, what are some of the qualifications for becoming a member of SVA? We know you got to be a veteran. Is there any set GPA or any amount of hours, part-time, full-time? What are some of the requirements?
So to be a member of the SVA, where you do not have to just be a veteran, we're also open to all members that are currently in the U.S. military, any branch, including the Coast Guard. We are also open to any members of the National Guard or the Reserves. And also, and to me, possibly one of the most important is we're also open to all family members of anybody that meets those criteria. Now, not only did I get to deploy 3 times, but also my wife, who thank goodness is way smarter and harder working than I am, she also deployed to Afghanistan as a senior civilian. So, you know, I got to learn first person that oftentimes being the spouse of someone who's deployed is, in my opinion, was actually way harder than being deployed, because all I had to do was focus on my job when I was downrange. Back here, it was 24/7, you know, wondering what's happening next. So we, in some of our most, I won't say most important, but some of our most engaged, active, and some of our greatest members have been family members. So we're, you know, and you know what? If you just want to provide service to the veterans community here at Aiken Tech, and you don't necessarily meet any of those criteria, we'll be happy to talk to you, and you can come to any of our events. We're, you know, it's more service to the veteran, to building that veterans community here on campus, providing service to the college, enhancing the academic experience for our veterans. If you know, generally follow, we have those specific job, you know, requirements that we have to be a certified, you know, campus organization. But you know, if you're interested and you're willing to, you know, help build the community, I don't think anybody's going to ask you to leave.
Awesome. Now, this question can be for either you, Mr. McGinnis, or for you, Christina. Question: you were in the military and then you were done. You know, your time was done. You're done, and so you're transitioning back into civilian life, and now you're going to go to school and you're going to go to work. What are some suggestions or a piece of advice you can give our like newbie veterans that are going to become veterans, want to leave, finish up, and go to school? What's some of your advice you have for them?
You want to go first, or should I go first?
No, you go first, then I'll see, and I'll see what's left.
Okay, so I think just from my personal experience, I should have done first, but I didn't, was FAFSA. So I failed to realize how important it is to kind of think ahead, because the FAFSA, you know, is for the next year. So for me, that was kind of like, oh man, I should have went ahead and done that. I kind of was behind the ball my first semester as far as FAFSA goes, but I was lucky enough to speak with Mrs. Key, and she kind of got me on track. I also think that it's important to think about what courses you want to take and what type of area you're interested in. That way you can go into the school knowing, okay, I know I'm going to need a math. I know I'm going to need an English. I haven't taken classes in 6, 7 years. So what do I need to renew if maybe you've already gone to college, things like that. Because I did have to retake 1 or 2 classes because I had waited so long in between going to school. So I actually thought I had more credits than I did. Not that that's a bad thing. I had great teachers. That was important too. And also just learning patience, big one, because I think we're so accustomed in the military to, if someone says to do this, then it's because they already have these things set in place. But when you're on your own, you kind of have to put those things in place yourself instead of waiting on someone else to kind of guide you. So if you can find a good advisor, go to the school, and just kind of check it out, just like I did with you guys. I talked to Miss Key then, but she really helped me get everything in line, tell me exactly what I needed to do, and that was a really big push for me.
Awesome. Mr. McGinnis?
So what I would say is, in the military, we're taught day in, day out that the mission is more important than you are, and it's especially more important than your ego. We're told that if you can't accomplish your assigned task on your own, you ask for help, and you ask for help early, and so you can get the support you need to get your mission accomplished. I think when a lot of our veterans come out, they are in a mindset that, oh, this is a civilian world, this is just college, I should be able to handle it fairly easy. And then when they hit road obstacles or they stumble, they think, oh, I've got to fix this on my own because I spent, however many years in the military. I should be able to handle something as easy as Aiken Technical College. Well, we're a different culture. We're a different system. We're, and believe it or not, although we've got a lot of veterans around here, this is not a military run like the Army or the Air Force or the Marine Corps. So my most frustrating moment in this job as a Student Veterans Association was I had a retired Army Sergeant First Class come in and sit down in my office, as he often did. He just, was sometimes just wanted to vent, and that's part of what I'm here for. And I asked him how it was going, and he said, well, it's not going good because I'm having to transfer to, and he was going to another a 2-year college here in the area. And I said, well, why is that? And he said, well, I didn't get accepted to the program I applied for. And I went, well, why not? And he said, they told me I didn't have this, that, and the other. And I said, well, you do have those. We've talked about your career. Why didn't they give you credit for it? And he said, I don't know. So after he left my office, I know that one of the instructors in that program is also a retired Army NCO. I picked up the phone. I talked to them. And they said that, well, had he put that information on his application, we would have certainly considered it and he would have been accepted. And if he had, if you'd called me 2 weeks ago before the deadline, we would have reevaluated his application. So he came back into my office a week later, and I spoke with some frustration, but with a heart of love, and told him, why didn't you come to me earlier? And he said, well, because I'm a former NCO in the Army. I was taught to fix, my job was to, move out and get it done. And I'm going like, yes, but you were also told to ask for support when you need support. So I would say, a lot of people, when they get a lot of veterans come in here, they need support, be it academically, be it financially, be it emotionally, be it whatever. And there are, if nothing else, come talk to people like me, like the officers in the SVA, like Christina, and we will be happy to, based on our knowledge of what, of Aiken Tech, we'll be happy to get you in touch with the people who can get you through whatever it is so that you can be successful here at Aiken Tech.
Definitely. Thank you both, because your MOS does matter. And sometimes the courses or the things you did when you were in the military will count. The DD-214s, send those in, and maybe the ACE got recommendations for every area, every division of the military, and you may be able to get some credit. So never not take the opportunity to see if that's going to be an option.
And there have been instances where just me or one of the other veterans instructors being able to provide some context. Like we have a former student, he's not enrolled right now, was a medic at the in the emergency room at the Combat Surgical Hospital at Bagram. You don't get more medical experience than you do right there in that room. And all I had to do was say, hey, listen, do you realize he spent a year in this assignment? And they're like going, send him up here. And I mean, everything was taken care of. He, it was, they're not going to, nobody here at Aiken Tech that I've ever met says, oh, you don't have the GPA, you're disqualified, we don't ever want to talk to you again. In fact, it's just the opposite. They want to find ways to get you into programs. And so being able to leverage the Veterans Network here on campus and off campus makes that a lot easier.
Awesome. Thank you both. And now everybody's been waiting for the money. Want to hear about the money. Trust me, we haven't forgotten about the money. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you Miss Suzanne Riddle. She's the VA specialist. She talks about the veterans benefits, what you can and can't do, what you can and can't get. Miss Riddle, are you there?
I am here.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about VA. What do they have to do? First things they need to do.
Okay. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. I want to say thank you for your service. We honor you today and appreciate all that you have done for our country. Again, my name is Suzanne Riddle, and I am the new VA certifying school official here at Aiken Technical College, and I am in the Enrollment Center. As Ms. Pride mentioned earlier, I am the VA and financial aid specialist, so I kind of work in both worlds, in financial aid and VA. And in my role here, I assist student veterans, active military, and their family members with getting their education benefits through the VA. I certify enrollment, and I notify the VA of any enrollment changes for VA students. I also am the main point of contact for any concerns regarding your GI Bill. So if you have any questions related to GI Bill, I'm your person. You can come. I'm in the Enrollment Center. Like some of the others said, I'm in there a couple days a week, but I'm always available by phone or email, and I'm sure that that's going to be listed or put up. But let me quickly go over how you can receive your VA benefits. First of all, a student must apply through the Department of Veteran Affairs, and they have an application online. You do that online. They do have paper applications, but it's going to be easier if you go online to the Department of VA and apply there. After you have applied through the VA, you can then come to the Enrollment Center, or you can go to our website on the Veterans page, and you're going to pick up a VA intake packet. And you're going to fill out that VA intake packet form, whether you download it from our website or you pick it up in the Enrollment Center, and you're going to fill it out. This packet basically lets me know that you have applied for benefits through the Department of Veterans Affairs and that you're now ready for your classes to be certified to the VA. And once I get that packet from you, I start that process. Once the classes are certified, I go in and I make sure, you're taking all of the appropriate classes according to your major. And once I can certify that you're in the correct classes for your major, then I send that to the VA. And then in turn, the student begins receiving their eligible benefits through the VA. That's just kind of a quick overview of how you can receive those benefits. Ms. Pride also mentioned filling out the FAFSA. If you need any help with filling that out, you can come to the Enrollment Services Center. I can help you do that. We have computers in our office that are there available for students, and we can help you with that as well. So I highly recommend that you apply for both. You can get both at the same time. And then the website for the FAFSA is fafsa.ed.gov, as mentioned before. And now I just want to quickly go over and highlight some of the different VA benefits that are available. If you have specific questions about, a particular benefit, you can always contact me directly after this by phone or by email or dropping by the Enrollment Center office. I'm just going to highlight some of the most used benefits because there's a lot of them. And actually, I'm just going to give you a brief description of what they are and what you could possibly get with each one. and I won't, bore you with all the details. You can go to our website on the Veterans page, and you can look at each particular benefit to read all of the details about each one to see if you possibly qualify for that. And again, the Department of Veterans Affairs is going to, they're the ones that determine what you are eligible for. So let's get started. For our veterans and our active duty service members, we have Chapter 30, which is the Montgomery GI Bill for active duty members, and this benefit pays monthly stipends, but it does not pay for tuition, fees, and books. Then we have Chapter 31. It is called our Veteran Readiness and Employment Program. It's formerly known as Vocational Rehabilitation and Employment Program. And this program provides services to help with job training, employment accommodations, resume development, and job seeking skills, anything job related. But for school training purposes, it pays for classes, books, and a monthly stipend. If you're eligible for Chapter 33, that's also known as Post 9/11 GI Bill. This benefit pays all or part of your tuition cost. Also a book stipend and a monthly housing allowance. And then we have Chapter 1606, and that's the Montgomery GI Bill for selective reserves. And these students may be eligible for a monthly stipend, tuition, fees, and books are not covered by this program. So those are some of the benefits for our veterans and our active duty service members. And now I quickly want to go over some of the benefits that we have for survivors and dependents. We have Chapter 33 is Post 9/11 Transfer of Entitlement. We have the Post 9/11 GI Bill that this allows service members, this particular bill allows service members to transfer all or some of the unused benefits to their spouses or dependent children. The Department of Defense determines if you can transfer benefits to your family members. So if this is approved, dependents may receive money for tuition, books, and a monthly stipend. And then we have Chapter 35 for survivors and dependents, and this is Survivors and Dependent Educational Assistance Program, also known as DEA. It offers education and training opportunities to eligible dependents, of veterans who are permanently and totally disabled due to service-related conditions, or if a veteran has died while on active duty. This particular benefit pays a monthly stipend. However, it does not pay tuition, fees, and books. And then lastly on this, for our survivors and dependents, there is the free tuition for certain war veteran children. These would be children of wartime veterans could possibly be eligible for this particular benefit. If they are, the program waives the cost of tuition only. And there are some more benefits. Like I said, there's a lot of them, and so I don't want to go over each little one, but you can definitely go and read each one of them on our website. And then lastly, I do want to highlight, as mentioned earlier, that we have some grants and scholarships available for our VA students. We have the FLOR grant. And this grant is a needs-based grant that is awarded to our military veterans and active duty service members. This grant assists with the cost of attending school and living expenses. At the beginning of each semester, we send out an email to our VA students letting them know that this grant is available and send out the application along with that email. So please be on the lookout at the beginning of the spring semester for this email from me about the FLOR grant, and you would turn the application back into me via email or drop it off at the Enrollment Center office. And then lastly, we have what some of the others have mentioned before, Bridge the Gap Military Scholarship. This scholarship is provided, like Mr. McInnes said, is provided by the Aiken Augusta Wounded Warrior Golf Classic Committee. That's a mouthful. And it provides our military veterans and active duty service member students with funds to support their educational goals while attending at Aiken Technical College. And this scholarship is based on merit and financial need. The applications are out right now through March the 1st. And recipients will be awarded in April. So you have until March the 1st right now to apply for this scholarship. And this would be a scholarship that you would actually receive the money for the fall of 2021. And again, I just kind of want to emphasize this scholarship because I just spoke to the lady that helps with the scholarship. I spoke to her yesterday, and she was telling me that the most that we've ever had apply for this scholarship at Aiken Technical College is 5. And we really want to have more students apply for this scholarship. This money is anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500, and that's just free money. If you are a veteran or an active duty service member and you're going to be a full-time Aiken Technical College student in the fall of 2021, please go and apply for this scholarship. We want to have as many people apply for the scholarship, and if you meet the criteria, you're pretty much guaranteed, like Christina said, to receive the scholarship. I mean, I spoke to the lady that's over this board yesterday, and she is just begging for people to apply for the scholarship. Now, I will say the application is a little lengthy, and that's why I think some students have not applied before, but it's free money, guys. So if you can take the time, go ahead and download that application. It is on our website on the Veterans page. I also sent out an email to all students yesterday with the application link in the email, but if you are having trouble finding that, you can always contact me and I will give you the application. But it's free money, and we're trying to get it in your pocket. So please go ahead and download it, apply for it, and give yourself some time to fill it out, because it is going to take you a little bit of time to fill out this application, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And again, if you have specific questions, you can always contact me. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Riddle. And what I'm doing right now, I'm going to paste that website on chat box. It's from on our ATC website, that Veterans Assistance page, and that scholarship you were talking about in reference to other ones as well are on that page.
Yes.
So please take advantage of that. Thank you all so much for such a wealth of information today. Ms. Parrish, Mr. McGinnis, Ms. Riddle, we really thank you. But the biggest thank you goes to our veterans. We thank you so much, each and every one of you. Wouldn't be free sitting in this chair right now if it wasn't for veterans in the past and the veterans that just recently finished. I thank all of you. I have veterans in my family. My son is currently serving. He's Warrant Officer 3. My daughter-in-law is a veteran. My niece is a veteran. My brother is a veteran. My dad's a veteran. So I definitely understand and I appreciate the sacrifice that you guys do. I thank you much. And again, everyone, please take advantage of the information that we've put in the chat box. Opportunities to reach out to each of us if you have any questions or concerns. We'll be more than happy to assist you. And we just wish you have the best of a day. Have a good one. Bye-bye.